Well, good morning. My name is Mr. Matt from the Traverse Area District Library, and welcome to our TSO Tots with TADL. Our theme today is rain, and our instrument group that we're focusing on is the percussion group. So hopefully we'll have a fun time. We have some special guests with us here from the TSO, the Traverse Symphony Orchestra, and I'm going to read you a little story. Matter of fact, let's go through our little outline. First, I'm going to introduce Dr. Kedrick Merwin, who's the executive director of the TSO, and he's going to give us a little welcome and thank a few people. And then I'm going to read a book to you. And it's a fun book. And even though our theme is rain, and there is some rain in this book, it's really about a little young man who may want to become a percussionist someday. So then I'm going to bring on a couple of percussionists from the Traverse Symphony Orchestra. I'll introduce them. They'll talk to you a little bit about some percussion instruments. And then we'll play a video of them performing a very cool piece, all in percussion. I've watched it. It's really kind of neat. Then, and this is something you need to get ready for, they're going to do some question and answers. So I want you to right now, and as you're watching the percussion piece, I want you to think if you have any questions that you might want to ask them, then you can have mom or dad or your adults type them in to the chat pane for us, or if you want, we can turn on the video for you and then you can ask your question on video in person. Then we have Miss Melinda from KinderMusik is going to do some fun activities with you to get your wiggles out. And if you have them with you, you can use a drum, shaker eggs, rhythm sticks, lots of fun percussion instruments that you might have at home that you can use to play around with her. And then we'll talk a little bit about a craft that we have for you at the library that's related to percussion instruments, and about our program for next month with TSO, where I think we're going to be featuring string instruments. But anyway, now I've talked enough. I think I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Kedrick Merwin, the executive director of the TSO.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Mr. Andy, and thank you to the Traverse Area District Library. My name is Kedrick Merwin, and I'm the executive director of the Traverse Symphony Orchestra, and we are so pleased to be able to partner with the district library to bring these programs to you. And I wanted to point out that these programs are made possible by our sponsors, the Michigan Council for Arts and Cultural Affairs for operating support, the Alden and Veda Dow Foundation for Arts Education, the Edmund F. and Virginia Ball Foundation for Family and Education Programming, the Biederman Foundation for Education Programs, and of course, the supporting members of the Traverse Symphony Orchestra. I'd also like to welcome, who will be introduced in a moment, but our principal percussionist, Robert Sagan, and thank him for being here today, and our associate principal percussionist, Keith Aleo, who will be sharing percussion with you later today as well. Also want to give a big shout out to Melinda at KinderMusik, and what a fantastic program that she has for you. So looking forward to all of this, and thank you to all of the people that make this possible. And Mr. Matt, back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Merwin. All right. I am going to read a book for you today called Max Found Two Sticks by Brian Pinkney. And let's see here. Max Found Two Sticks by Brian Pinkney is published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers, and they've given us permission to use this book today in our online story time. So thank you very much, Simon & Schuster. And I'm going to put my glasses on so that I can read this. It was a day when Max didn't feel like talking to anyone. He just sat on his front steps and watched the clouds gather in the sky. A strong breeze shook the tree in front of his house, and Max saw two heavy twigs fall to the ground. What would you do if 2 sticks just fell to the ground in front of you. Let's find out what Max does. What are you going to do with those sticks? Max's grandpa asked as he washed the front windows. Not saying a word, Max tapped on his thighs. Pat, pat, putter, putter, pat, tat. His rhythm imitated the sound of the pigeons, startled into flight. When Max's mother came home carrying new hats for his twin sisters, she asked, "What are you doing with Grandpa's cleaning bucket, son?" Max responded by patting the bucket. Tap, tap, tap. Tippy tip, tap, tap. He created the rhythm of the light rain falling against the front windows. After a while, the clouds moved on and the sun appeared. Cindy, Sean, and Jamal showed up drinking sodas. "Hey, Max, what you doing with those hat boxes?" Again, Max didn't answer. He just played on the boxes. Dum, dum, de dum. Dee 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 dum dum. Max drummed the beat of the tom-toms in a marching band. "What are you up to with those soda bottles?" his dad asked as he brought out the garbage cans on his way to work. Max answered on the bottles. Dong, dang, dong. Ding, dong, ding. His music joined the chiming of the bells in the church around the corner. Soon the twins came off to show their new hats. "Hey, Max," they asked, "what are you doing with those garbage cans?" Max hammered out a reply on the cans. Cling, clang, da-bang. A cling, clang, da-bang. Max pounded out the sound of the wheels thundering down the tracks under the train on which his father worked as a conductor. Suddenly, Max heard thump, thump, as a marching band rounded the corner. Max watched the drummers with amazement as they passed, copying their rhythms. The last drummer saw Max, then with a nod and a wink, he tossed Max his spare set of sticks. "Thanks," called Max, and he didn't miss a beat. All right, that was Max Found 2 Sticks by Brian Pinkney. Thanks one more time to Simon & Schuster, Books for Young Readers, for giving us permission to use this book today. All right, I'm going to introduce 2 special people to you. Robert Sagan and Keith Aleo, and they're percussionists with the Traverse Symphony Orchestra. I'm going to turn it over to them, and they're going to introduce a few instruments to you.
Today's was rain, right? Today is focused on rain, and this is what we call, back up here a bit so we can see some of these, a rain stick. There's many types of that. Or for dads out there that are with us, close your eyes for a second, Dad. That sound like steaks on a grill. All right. Yeah, that's what we like. But percussion is all kinds of instruments. We heard about tom-toms in the story, but it's also a lot of sound effects and a lot about using your imagination. We'll hear this in our piece that we played today. This opens up our piece today. What have you got for us, Keith? Good morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. And I was thinking, as we were going to introduce some instruments, I was thinking to myself that we have to make sure that all of us can be drummers too. And like in the story, um, I actually grabbed 2 wooden spoons from the kitchen. And I was thinking that you're going to hear all our percussion instruments, but what if you want to play when you're not, you don't have some of these instruments? So I took 2 wooden spoons and I actually grabbed a pot right here, and I realized that sometimes we play on these instruments. Believe it or not, this is a pot, and if I just put my hand here, I can actually create different sounds. And I hope this comes through. Let me turn on original sound, and I think, there we go. So I actually am creating quite a rhythm there just by putting my finger on the back. And this is a bowl that we use to mix things in. So I thought it'd be kind of fun for you guys to not only hear percussion instruments, but as I was gathering my instruments, I thought, I think I'm going to give them something that they can play. So there's one, and I have more. Keep going, Bob.
All right. This cowbell was actually on my grandfather's cow, and it's about 100 years old. That is authentic as it comes. Okay, that's an inherited item. Okay, a family heirloom in the Sagan family. All right, and it's got and nowadays we still play something, and this is a commercially bought cowbell that's, well, very old, but let me find something to hit it with here. And then, just like as Keith was showing us earlier, you can dampen this in a lot of different ways as well. And one other thing before I show it to Keith, so that was connecting to our stuff that's around all over the place. It becomes musical instruments sometimes. One of the things you heard at the beginning is these tempo blocks. Did you guys ever hear that? Did you guys hear this at all? I'll pay a little attention to that. I don't know why it's doing that automatically. Tempo blocks, sometimes referred to as coconuts. Keith, what do you have for us?
So I'll take it to the next step, everyone. And I hope I'm not panicking the parents, but I have a solution. Don't worry, parents. But I will show you another loud instrument. This is your standard pot. This is a second standard pot. These are from my kitchen, and what you can do is, these are the lids from the pots. Now, what's great about this is they look like something that you might have seen before. Yes, they could be cymbals. And I actually tested these up against some toy cymbals, and actually the pots sound better. But what you can do a lot of things with them other than crash them. We think of percussion maybe loud sometimes, but actually, I actually tried a couple things with this, and it's really awesome. Check this out. So you can get a good kind of a loud resonating sound, but you can also get this sound, which kind of sounds kind of spooky at times.
Okay, well, hopefully my sound will stay on this time. So looking at this instrument here, do you have any idea what type of sound this might make? I'll be honest with you. My daughter found this for me and bought it for me because she knew I just had to have this new sound effect. And when she showed it to me, I had no idea what sound it was going to make. I didn't know. And then I got to hear it. It's a gourd. You hear it's hollowed out. On the bottom of it, it has this little membrane that's glued on there. And then it's just a wire spring, long wire spring. What do you think that might sound like? I think we have some of those forecasts for Monday in our area. That's the thunder that goes with our rain. Lots of cool, losing imagination, lots of cool sounds. Keith?
Yeah. So I have a solution for any parents out there that are in extreme concern mode with what I'm showing their children. So I came up with a solution for a way you can enjoy percussion without it being too loud. So what I did was I grabbed some books. This is a book on Beethoven. This is a book on Percy Granger. And here is a third book. And you think, book? What would I ever do with a book? So I'm going to push my video back, and I'm going to try to give you a... So which book sounds higher? And now I'm just playing. These are just standard books that I'm using. Can you hear a difference in the sound of the book? And then here, so you actually get pitches like you would tones on a violin or a string bass. So what I can do with these, I can play these books with my trusty, and I was going to show you a little technique here, which is this point here. See if you can make the wooden spoon move like that. And so watch what I can do just with these books. Now I can add the louder instruments in there too, as you caught at the very end. That is a complete possibility, but maybe the parents would enjoy you limiting your performance to just a few notes on the pots. But as you can see, you can incorporate all these instruments, all these different kinds, and you could put the pots and you can lay them all out, and you can kind of have like what we call a setup. And it is really fun. So I hope you enjoyed that.
Yeah, I'm glad you had that book on Beethoven. It really makes a classic sound. It's awesome. We can go on, and I have a lot of stuff here, but I think we could save some stuff for questions at the end. I think maybe Matt, maybe I think time for the piece that we played earlier.
All right, we're gonna get the video going of the recording that Bob and Keith have made for us. All right.
I almost started playing along with my pots and pans and my books and my
All right. So if anybody that's watching has any questions for us, you can type them into the chat, or you can ask us to allow you to share video, and you can ask your question in person. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and ask us right now. Well, I don't see any questions right now, but I'm going to ask you guys a question. To do a piece like the one that we just saw, how much practicing does that involve for you guys? Do you just like pick it up and do it, or do you have to work really hard to learn how to do all that stuff?
Well, I think the answer is both, quite honestly. We've both spent many years learning all these different instruments and different sounds and getting all this library of ideas, kind of a vocabulary of ideas in our minds. And we both have known this piece for a while. Now, as far as getting together and playing it, we've done this before, but even the first time we did it, we pretty much just played it together. And then we talked over some of the ideas, and we played it. But we had a lot of stuff that we brought to the table, a lot of preparation that we brought to the table before that.
Yeah, it's like learning to the students out there. It's like learning how to write letters and then putting the letters together. So you have to learn for a very long time how to develop the foundational work, and then you put the letters together, and then you put the words together, and then you have sentences. It's sort of the same thing. We spend years writing the letters, practicing our technique and our foundational work. Then we start putting things together more and more. And then now, when you write a sentence, it comes very quickly. So Bob and I can get together very quickly and put the piece together very fast because we've done all this work before, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense to me. Thank you. All right. I don't see any questions. Yes, Keith.
Well, I have a question. What was the big instrument with the tubes on it that Bob was playing? We didn't talk about that instrument. What is that instrument called? That's a question for you, Bob.
Oh, it is? I was hoping Kendrick could fill in here because he's got long tubes on his instrument as well. But his instrument's a different instrument. He's an excellent trombone player, but that instrument is a marimba. Many people might look at it and think it's a xylophone. And this is a smaller marimba, so I can see where people get that confusion. The bars lay out the same way. If we were able to see it from a different angle, it would look kind of like a piano keyboard, where you've got the black notes, the white notes. Of course, these are all the same color, but they're laid out the same way. A marimba has a more mellow sound and typically has a lower range, but this was a marimba.
And what is that marimba made out of, Bob?
That marimba, well, the tubes he's talking about, these on my particular instrument are actually made out of brass, but usually nowadays they're made out of aluminum. But the main thing making the sound is rosewood bars.
While we were watching the video just now, my daughter walked past and said, "Oh, I remember playing those when I was in elementary school." And I did correct her, but
Yeah.
Well, they probably played a version of that, an Orff version of that in kindergarten, in elementary school.
yeah, she did.
This one was
I
a little
always loved
different. This
love
is
the
a-
Orff instruments.
Yeah, and the instruments are great. And for really more for the parents out there very quickly, that is a 1926 Deegan instrument, which was a gift to me from the original owner and a former instructor of mine. So it's very, that has a lot of history to it.
You make it sound good.
Thank you. Do we have anything else? And people might ask, so the piece "Yellow After the Rain" was what I was playing on the marimba, and there's a couple little additions to that composition. What Keith did was purely improvisational, and from those years of experience and using his imagination about what would work with this piece. And so when I asked Keith to do this, I said, Keith, here's what I'm thinking. We'll add this and this in, and then just cut you loose. And that's what happens. You cut Keith Aleo loose with all kinds of sounds. You get lots of cool stuff.
Yeah, it was fun. I knew the piece, so I was able to sort of play along with Bob. And if you noticed, was playing a lot of instruments. I was playing different drums. I was playing a bass drum with my foot, and I was playing a snare drum in front of me, and I was playing a couple cymbals. And so it's kind of it's what we call multiple percussion. So you're actually playing more than one instrument.
And there is a name for that. Most people nowadays call it a trap set, which is often called a drum kit. But the historical on that is the trap set is short for contraption, which came actually from the vaudeville days when they're doing all the sound effects. So this was kind of going full circle history back to a contraption. And that contraption instrument is called a trap set that Keith was playing. And they're all unique to that individual or whatever piece is going on, however you're putting instruments together.
That's the thing that's always fascinated me about percussionists is your ability to play so many different instruments. And I just think I play a couple instruments, but probably none as well as you guys play all your instruments. So
both the blessing and another blessing, because one of the things I love playing with Keith is that he loves moving all this equipment. He just makes it so much fun moving all this equipment, and such a joy. We move all of that stuff.
All right. Okay, I think we're going to wrap up our question and answer section now, and we're going to go on to our KinderMusik section. So let's welcome Miss Melinda from KinderMusik, and kids, get ready to do a little bit of moving and have a little bit of fun.
Hello, everybody. It's another wonderful Saturday at the Traverse Area District Library, and here's Miss Melinda to bring you some music and movement. I heard you guys were doing percussion instruments. Percussion is such a big word. Can you say it? Percussion. What does that mean? I bet you learned a lot about it. So if you can shake or strike an instrument, you're probably playing percussion. Let's see what I have behind me here. I see some drums. Striking, and here's bongo. That was a shuffle. Bongos. Listen to the different pitch. Which one's higher? Can you tell? Let's see. Big, small. Small is higher, isn't it? All right, what else do I have? Cowbell shaking. Another percussion. Let's see, cowbell. Tambourine. Shakers. You have some shakers, Andy? What about rhythm sticks? Oh, one of my favorite ones. I sort of cheat with the spoons because I am not a spoon player. But with these, you can hit your leg, your thigh. You can even do it not recommend. No. Spoons are fun. Oh, I've got jingle bells, big jingle bells, and some smaller jingle bells. Love the bells. And just so many other things that we can do with percussion instruments. There's so many world instruments. All sorts of fun things. Collect in your at-home collection of instruments. But right now, let's start off by taking a walk all around your room, wherever you are. We're going to walk all around. Listen for the musical clues, because we're going to do other things besides just walk. Okay, are you ready? Walk all around now, walk all around. Walk all around now, walk all around. Walk all around now, walk all around. Dance! Dancing! Dance all around. Dance all around. Dance all around. Yay! Bravo, bravo! Okay. Do you have a scarf or something we can dance with? Hide underneath? What about peekaboo? It's almost Easter. Peekaboo. And little chicks like to peep, peep out of their eggs. Peep. Peekaboo. I see you. I see you hiding there. Tra la 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 la. Peekaboo. I see you. I see you hiding there. Where are you? Where are you? I just can't see. Peekaboo. I see you. I see you hiding there. Tra la 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 la. Peekaboo. I see you. I see you hiding there. Peekaboo. Let's take our scarves or anything that you have to dance with, and let's do some dancing, shall we? Let's do a little world music dancing. One of my favorites. Swish it low, down low. for the tempo. I think it's going to get faster. Can you feel it? Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Let's grab some drums, everybody. What kind of drum do you have? Homemade? A drum from a special place? Definitely gonna get some drum music. Let's do some expression stuff. Bravo, bravo, percussionists. Beautiful. Well, let's see. And there we are. 11 fun minutes with all of you. And I must say goodbye. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a beautiful Easter weekend. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Melinda. That was great. All right. I think I have a couple closing announcements. We're going to say goodbye to our guests and then we'll be done. So thank you, Miss Melinda, for that. That was a lot of fun. We have, in case you didn't already know this and hadn't found out, we have drum kits available at the library. You can come by the library and pick up a drum kit. It's kind of a make your own and decorate your own drum. Some of them are part of a kit that has quite a few other instruments in, like rhythm sticks and some bells and some egg shakers and stuff. You're just gonna have to see what we have available when you get there. And all of our locations at the Traverse Area District Library, except for our East Bay branch, are open to the public. So you can come by every day except Sunday. And you can come right in and go to the youth department at the main library or one of the other libraries and ask for a drum craft kit to decorate your own drum. And if you're not comfortable doing that, or if you prefer to go to East Bay Branch, then you can come during one of our curbside times and request the kit, and we'll bring it out to you right out to your car. Next month on our TSO Tots with TADL program is going to be the first Saturday of the month, like always. It's May 1st. It'll be at 11 a.m. and it will be an animal theme, and we'll be featuring the string family. So you can go to our website or the TSO's website, traversesymphony.org, or TADL, that's Traverse Area District Library, TADL.org, and get more information about May 1st's program with strings. And we will have a craft involved with that too. And you can stop by any of our library branches to pick up those. You can get them before we go, so that if you want, you can even show us what you've done. That would be kind of cool. All right, I'd like to take a quick second now and thank our guests. Thank you, Kedrick. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Keith, for coming. And we really appreciate you coming with us. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you, Matt, and thank you, Keith and Bob. And thank you for the Traverse Area District Library for partnering with the Traverse Symphony Orchestra. And thank you to all of you who are watching at home today.
All right. Bye-bye. Have a great day and have a great month. And maybe we'll see you on May 1st.